What up, good people, and welcome to another episode of This Is Dope. It's your man Ahmad back again to discuss things that have happened in tech that are dope. First off, let me go ahead and start off by apologizing. Seems like I do this a lot. I know it's been probably a month since I posted a video. Been kind of just living life, took a Disney trip with my family. It was pretty awesome. You really caught it with work, things busy at work, so forth and so on. But that's neither here nor there. I'm back now. Today's video, I want to discuss, all the tech happenings. Well, the two major tech happenings, as far as I'm concerned, that have taken place in April. April has seemed like it's been, for me, probably the most significant tech month of 2021 so far. And the two tech happenings I'm talking about or speaking of are the DJI Mavic Air. Or I'm sorry, not Mavic because they dropped the Mavic name, but the DJI Air 2S announcement, and of course the Apple event that took place yesterday. I don't plan on this being a very long video. Kind of just want to give you guys my perspective, my reactions, kind of my take on the whole thing. I don't have any of the products in hand, so I can't show you guys any of the stuff. But just kind of want to give you my first impressions on what I think about both events announcements, right? So first off, let's start with the DJI Air 2S announcement. I think the drone itself is really awesome. I recently just bought a Air 2, right? And I would say the things that kind of stood out to me from the Air 2S as opposed to the Air 2, obviously the camera is the first thing that stood out, right? The Air 2S has a 1-inch sensor, and the Air 2 has a half-inch sensor. Me not being a camera aficionado or a professional photographer or anything along those lines, or a videographer, I still am able to realize that is a significant improvement. So after doing a little research, pretty much in a nutshell, what I've gathered is that the larger sensor will allow better still images because it's allowing more light in. And the more light you're allowing in, the more information you have to be able to work with. So it's going to result in, potentially better pictures. Also, it shoots in D-Cinelog, I believe it is. And so that's supposed to help with color correcting. And I'm speaking of the Air 2S, right? Another difference is that it shoots in 5.4K at 30 frames per second. Yeah, I want to make sure I got the frame rate right. At 30 frames per second. Now, the real benefit to 5.4K, from what I've been reading and researched, is since it's shooting in that resolution, is that when you're editing, if you want to punch in on a shot, you're not going to lose enough of the quality for it not to be of that 4K, standard, right? And let me phrase that a little better. At 5.4K, if I shoot a video of, kids playing at the beach, sunrise, whatever, right? And it's far away. And say I want to zoom in a little more and focus on a particular subject, whether it's my kids or a tree in the background or whatever, I'll be able to punch in or zoom in to a certain point and really focus on that without losing any quality in the video, right? It'll still maintain that 4K quality that I want because I shot it in 5K. So for some people that may be significant, right? Others maybe not so much, but I think it's pretty cool that they're able to pack something like that in such a small drone. They have a few other new features like master shots. I guess it's considered a quick shot, but it seems to be a combination of quick shots. Master shots will do a number of the quick shots based on your surroundings. I'm believing it's using some sort of AI to determine what where you're at, your surroundings, which shots would be best, and then what it'll do is it'll do a combination of those, stitch them together in a cool little video, which I think is pretty awesome to have the ability to do that like really quickly just, off of your drone and then the app that you're using to capture and process the videos, which is DJI Fly app, obviously. Other than that, one other thing. It also has two extra sensors up top. What the sensors are going to do are allow it to have obstacle avoidance up top or above it, sort of. As it was explained to me, as you know, when your drone is flying like this, obviously you have the sensors in front, like the Air 2 does. However, when you really put it in sport mode, it kind of leans down when it's really trying to, pick up speed. Well, those two normal sensors in the Air 2, they're kind of, I guess, angled downward, right? So it's not really able to see too much or as much going forward. The two sensors they have are not, the Air 2S has, are pointing at an angle up, right? So when the drone is like this, now those same two sensors are pointing forward as well. So it gives you better obstacle avoidance in sport mode. It just gives you more sensors to avoid crashing your drone in layman's terms, right? And that's the thing we most care about, right? You don't want to spend, $1,000 on your drone and have it, do a headbutt a tree, right? The drone's going to lose every time. So I think that's significant. I wish they would have added the side obstacle avoidance sensors. That would be pretty cool. That way, when you have it doing active track, and you want it to follow you from the side, that would be a lot more feasible through obstacles. But, it's not, they're not going to give you everything that they have on the pro level drones like the Mavic Pros, because then that would eliminate the need for them, right? Business. But overall, I think it's a great drone. Am I going to upgrade? I don't know. I just got the Air 2. I need to see some, like one of my friends or someone. I need to see some actual footage of someone I know. I need to see it up close to see if it's, worth shelling out another $1,000 just for the upgrades they're offering. But yeah, I still do think what they're doing with it is super dope. If you have a Mavic Air, not an Air 2, if you have a Mavic Air, I would recommend, definitely upgrading. I personally think they're going to release a Mavic Pro 3 soon because it's been a couple of years, and I'm really waiting to see what they do with that. If I do get another drone this year, it probably will be that. I may still get the 2S maybe a little bit later on, but right now I don't see the reason to upgrade. Okay, that's my DJI rant, right? Now on to the main event. Apple had their spring event. We'll call it the spring event. The much rumored, much anticipated spring event happened yesterday, 420, right? Good old 420. Now, 420 celebrated for a couple of other reasons, but I'm not going to get into that right here on this video. But so the event was only an hour, and they really got to it. As soon as the event started, they got right to it, right? So I'm not going to go through in detail everything. I'm going to go through, what they announced, but really kind of hone in on the things that I'm excited about. So first thing I remember they were announcing was, obviously the ability for, now if you have an Apple card, they have the ability now for your family to be able to use the card, and or if you and your wife have a card, you can combine balances or combine credit limits, and it's the Apple Card family plan, right? Which is pretty cool, but it's nothing super exciting. I have an Apple Card, but I'm not overly excited about the stuff. It's cool, but I was like, okay, great. They announced before that. They finally announced AirTags. AirTags are pretty cool, reasonably priced. I think they came in at $29 for one. They're selling a 4-pack for like $99. They have accessories they're going to come with them. I think they're beginning to sell them in May. I could see a use case for them. Maybe, if you want to, I don't lose my keys. As you guys know, I have my keys attached to my attachment with my bag, which I always have with me, helps me not lose my keys. But I can see a use case for, if you're a concerned parent, you get one of the little key holders, attach a air tag, and if you want to be able to know where your 9-year-old is, or whatever, if you leave them with somewhere, something like that. I don't know. There's a number of use cases for it. I'm not overly excited about this either. Like I said, I think you can accomplish the same thing with with your phone or a smartwatch or whatever. But I mean, it's a pretty cool thing. I just haven't in my head processed how I would use them, so I didn't get overly excited about it. Right. The other thing, they new color in iPhone 12s and iPhone 12 mini is like a purplish color. Yeah, great, thanks. The next thing was that, which is actually pretty cool. Oh nope, I'm skipping. They then announced a new Apple TV 4K, which I think is pretty cool. Revamped remote. I think A12 chips in there. Better video performance. The whole deal. Better game playability on it. I'm a heavy consumer of Apple TV. I mean, there's an Apple TV attached to every TV in my home, so I definitely can see myself buying one of these, probably at least to stick in the living room, and yeah. And then the other great thing about it is that the remote is bigger. Those of you who have Apple TVs probably have dealt with the pain of trying to keep up with that little bitty black remote, which is annoying as hell, right? The remote's a little bit bigger. At least it looks a little bit bigger in the video, so that's great. A little bit harder to lose. It's not black, it's silver. It's silver and black, so more contrast. It'll stick out more. It has some additional I don't want to say additional functionality, but they've kind of redone the way you interact with the television on the remote. Nothing revolutionary, but it's just a little bit cooler, more intuitive. I think that's something I'm looking forward to as far as the Apple TV itself and the remote. Also been, through research, I found out you could use the new remote with older Apple TVs, so you don't have to necessarily buy the newer Apple TV to utilize the remote, right? If you just want the remote, I think it's coming to like $59, I believe is where I read somewhere. You can get that for your Apple TVs and just kind of keep it moving with your current line of Apple TVs. However, I do think I'm going to buy one of the new ones to upgrade one of the 4 in my home. Next thing they brought out, or announced, which I am very, very interested in, and made me for a second rethink the way I do things. If you guys have been watching this channel, I'm a heavy iPad user, right? I don't really have a desktop. I have a MacBook 12-inch as a Mac laptop, but I don't really do anything on it. Then obviously I have my work laptop, which, is a Windows machine or whatever. But I do everything pretty much on my 12.9-inch iPad. However, these new iMacs they announced, which are have a new 24-inch screen option, they look dope. They look super dope, to be honest with you. They come in a variety of colors, matching new Magic keyboards to go with them, new mouse, new mice that matches the color of the particular iMac, right? One of the options one of the variations of the Magic keyboard comes with a fingerprint sensor. The iMac's obviously running the new M1 Mac chipset. So there's that benefit. So it allows them to be super thin. Cooling is the footprint of the motherboard, the chip, and the cooling system around it is much smaller and thinner, which allows the screen to be much, much thinner, which is always a great thing, right? So they're just really thin, super powerful. Thunderbolt ports, USB-C ports in the back. The power adapter, they're using MagSafe to plug it in the back. They also have gigabit Ethernet on the actual brick itself, power brick itself, which I think is pretty cool. The braid, they're really doing the whole matchy-matchy thing. The braid on the power adapter matches, or the plug matches the actual iMac itself, which I think is really, really cool. They bumped, I mean, the camera specs, they bumped up the camera specs. You were able to really max this thing out. I definitely was more excited than I expected to be about the release of this product because it looks so cool and it so powerful. I mean, if you look at it, it really looks like a thicker, big iPad attached to a stand. I mean, obviously it's not touchscreen, so those of you who think they made it touchscreen, they didn't get that crazy. They didn't go that far. But it would have been dope if they had, but we know Apple. They didn't, but it's super dope. It's super, super dope. Definitely made me like, oh, okay, all right. So, those of you out there who have an iMac, been thinking about upgrading, been wondering when Apple's going to pay the iMac some attention. They finally have. It was well worth the wait. Well, maybe not worth the wait, but it'll be definitely worth upgrading. These things are dope and really, really powerful. Now, to the thing that I have been waiting for the absolute most out of all these announcements, right? First, let me get to what they didn't announce. There's not a new Apple Pencil 3. There's just the same Apple Pencil 2. Magic Keyboard, they didn't re-engineer it, right? Of course, I'm speaking about iPads, iPad Pros. Magic Keyboards didn't get re-engineered. They just got a new color. There's now a white color option. But the iPad Pros themselves are the things that had me most excited and the real reason why I watched the announcement, right? So the significant changes to me in the iPad Pro are, obviously, a lot of the rumors had nailed a lot of this stuff. In the 12.9-inch model, you're going to have mini LED, which they're calling Retina XDR, I believe is the Apple marketing term. But it's only available in the 12.9 model. The 11-inch model is still going to have the liquid Retina display. Still high-quality display, but according to everything I'm hearing, this liquid Retina XDR is supposed to be obviously a step above it. It's supposed to be on par with the same technology they used in the displays that they announced when they came out with the new $1 million Macs a couple of years ago, right? And they were selling the monitors with the new display technology, and the monitor stands were like $1,000. Well, it's supposed to be the same technology used in those monitors, right? But the thing that really, really excites me is really just like the spec bumps. It looks pretty much the same. I mean, to be honest with you, the design's the same. They haven't changed anything from a design perspective. They've added Thunderbolt. You now have a Thunderbolt port on your iPad Pro, so it'll allow you to be able to get full resolution when you attach a monitor to it. Data transfer speeds, obviously, are going to increase significantly, which is great. They're putting the M1 processor in the Mac. It's not the A chip, it's the actual M1 processor, which to me is super exciting because I know WWDC is around the corner. While they didn't have any significant software announcements now, I don't see any hindrance at all for Apple to be able to produce pro-level apps for an iPad. Final Cut, Logic, all of their pro-level apps that they make for MacBooks, I don't see them not being able to make those for iPads any longer because they're utilizing this M1 chip now. And if you caught at the end of the presentation where they had their little board where they were showing all the features, you saw there's a 2 terabyte storage option and it comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM. I know I'm not the only one that's caught that. I've seen a lot of people harp on that or point that out on Twitter. So with 16 gigabytes of RAM and the M1 processor, Apple, we're gonna need pro apps at WWDC. Stop playing. Stop playing with us, for real. Now, you're gonna pay for that 2 terabytes of storage, right? I went on and priced it yesterday. And for the LTE model, not LTE, the cellular model, which one of the other new features is The iPad Pro is 5G now. But for the 5G model, 2 terabytes, it's $2,400 just for the iPad. I'm not talking Apple Pencil, not talking Magic Keyboard. So you start talking Magic Keyboard, it's 20. You start talking Magic Keyboard, and if you need to buy another Apple Pencil, you're looking at about $3,000 in that range, right? But just for the iPad itself, it's $23.99 before taxes, obviously. So I mean, it's costly, but it's a significant potential performance upgrade. So the only real limitation to the iPad now is really its software. So if you're going to do this, and I'm hoping this is their mindset, they are really going to lean into making making iPad OS a much more pro app, productivity focused operating system, and really kind of take some of the guardrails off. That's my hope. Another few additions or changes, I guess, or additions to the iPad Pro is, as I mentioned, there's 5G. The FaceTime camera now is going to be, I think it's 1080p, I believe, and they're offering ultra wide. So your conference call experiences should be better. Your FaceTime experiences should be better. They also have this new feature where someone else enters the frame, they'll kind of make sure that, well, first, before we get to the someone else entering the frame, the technology is supposed to make sure that you're always centered. So if you're up, you're on a video call, you're moving around, the video is always supposed to adjust or make sure that the focus is always on you, right? Obviously, I haven't seen this in practice, but according to the video, it's supposed to do, if someone else comes to the shot as well, it's supposed to be able to switch focus back and forth between you and the other person, to kind of help, I guess, with the video call experience. Those to me were the significant things I really took away from the iPad Pro release, as far as the hardware upgrades, the new features with the camera. The rear camera is supposed to be improved. I mean, I'm not going to go over the specs with those. You can kind of look at those on your own, because I don't really take photos with my iPad, so there's that. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to get one when I get it. Obviously, I'll share with you guys. Hopefully I'm not too excited to forget to film my unboxing, but I'm definitely going to order it. You can pre-order on 4/30. However, they won't be delivered until the second half of May. So even if you pre-order on 4/30 and you manage to be one of the first few or the first few people to pre-order, don't expect it for at least a couple of weeks, right? But that's cool. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's kind of my rundown, my first impressions of what I like to call the April tech extravaganza, right? With DJI's announcement of the Air 2S and then Apple's 420 event yesterday. So hopefully you guys found this informative. It's good to be making another video. I missed you guys. Definitely please comment down below with any comments, perspectives, questions, whatever the case may be. But yeah, that's it. So hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day, a wonderful rest of your week. If you enjoyed the videos, subscribe, mash that like button. Other than that, I'm out.